So when you're talking about Christians being divided or united, I think it's important to start like this, that the heart of Jesus Christ, and we see this in the high priestly prayer in John 17, is that for Christians, our relationship to one another should be one of unity and partnership and joy and trust and grace and the 54 one another's. But in reality, there's quite a bit of division among the brothers and sisters that make up the Christian church. And I think for a while, because of, and I'm speaking specifically as a Westerner in the southern part of the United States, because the organized church has had such favor with the cultural elites the last 100, 150, 200, 300 years, what's happened is that churches were able to define themselves by what they did differently than other churches, whether that was kind of an open hand of theology issue or maybe have better programming, so that really the marketing for you to come to my church is that I'm not that church. And you can get away with that when the cultural norms of your day say church is a good thing and everyone should be a part of a church. I mean, you shouldn't even trust somebody that's not serious about church, but that day, if it is not dead where you are right now and watching this video, it is certainly dying. And so as we move into a world where there's far more hostility and marginalization, I think that we're going to have to make a real concerted effort to walk in greater unity, to be more gracious to one another, to not vilify one another or paint characterizations of one another that are inconsistent with who we really are. And so here's how historically this conversation has gone. That there is the closed hand of theology. This is one of the illustrations. And in that closed hand of theology are the orthodox beliefs about God, Christ, and the Bible that would make one, according to the Bible itself, Christian. So the Trinity would be in this bucket. The atoning work of Jesus Christ would be in the closed hand. The resurrection of Jesus Christ would be in this hand. So these are things that to believe these things means you're a Christian. And then there are the open hand, right? And over here in the open hand, you would have, do you believe in the gifts or do you not believe in the gifts? You would have what to do with women in ministry. You would have to do, there would be all these other secondary issues in this hand. And what happens when you're trying to compare and contrast with other churches is you'll highlight some of these things, and over time they'll start to find their way into the closed hand. And so I think the posture we need to have with one another is, if we agree on the closed hand, then man, we need to be in open dialogue and friendly dialogue with one another about why we're landing, why we're seeing what we're seeing, and then do as much as we can to walk in unity with one another. Now, I know there's some significant stressors in our day and age around this subject, but my appeal in this very short video would be, as best you can, let's make the most important thing, that 1 Corinthians 15 passage from the Apostle Paul about what's of utmost importance. Let's let that be the close-handed part here, and then let's begin to have dialogue around these secondary issues that tend to divide us. And please, please, please be careful of what you carpet bomb on social media, what you decide is something that makes someone or doesn't make someone a Christian, that's really outside of how the Bible does it. And let's learn to be more generous with one another.